Alright, so let's just quickly go over some trades I'm still in on this Friday afternoon. Again, everything is based on the levels that I publish every evening, Eastern time zone. So this is a bit after 6 p.m. Eastern after Globex opened last night. Got stopped on everything else here already, but let's take a look at the S&P. So S&P, and what we do is we draw the buy, the sell level, the midpoint, and above the midpoint I'm expecting price to hit the buy level. That's where I take off, half a position, and then I trail the rest. So there's no trail step here now because I'm actually watching it. If I step away, I would put a trailing stop following this. So this is the
NQ,
S&P.
buy signal 4.
This is the Nasdaq. Again, same exact logic. Buy level, sell level, midpoint, and above the midpoint, going toward the buy level and beyond. What else? We got the Dow. The Dow, again, everything's repetitive, same exact thing. Buy level, sell level, midpoint, above the midpoint, looking for the buy level and beyond. So as far as what can you use to help you trade these levels, well, you can use the Blue Wave Auto Trader, which I highly recommend. This is a fully automated software that you can use to enter. It would enter and manage trades for you, and that's fine. Or you can just use a simple indicator. So this is a simple trend indicator from Ninja, and
NQ, buy signal 3.
you would just you would go long because you're above the midpoint. You would ignore the short. You'd want to go long because you're above the midpoint. And here is another example here. Let's just here again. You would not take the short, but you would go long here. Another example, breaking above the midpoint for a long. This, again, this is enough for a scalp. If not, I mean, the indicator stayed long, but I would take a stop right as price goes below the midpoint. I would stop myself out here, I guess, for like a small loss. That's just what I would do. Of course, the indicator stays long. You could have just kept the long position. Earlier, there was a break below the midpoint, so this is again a decent short. If you just need some kind of help, if you're just looking for a way, let's say, to get short to trade these levels, this is just an idea, how you can do this. In the description you would find discount codes for everything I mentioned. Yeah, so that's it. Again, I don't have as much time anymore to make videos here. Once in a while, when I get a chance, I make a video. But the approach, even if you look back through previous videos, it's always the same. It's always buy level, sell level, midpoint, and then traders in the group use different techniques to get in, different indicators. They use the Blue Wave Auto Trader. If you're looking for full automation, Blue Wave Auto Trader is the way to go. If you go to their channel, Blue Wave Trading, again in the description, you will see plenty of videos of me trading the Blue Wave Auto Trader. All right, so the market is closed now. Just wanted to summarize and explain one point because I did receive a number of emails regarding this. Why do I need so much in available drawdown? As I explained before, when I take a payout, and I just had a payout in this account, this is a $25,000 account. When I take a payout, I always make sure I do not ask for an amount greater than would leave the account with less than 10,000 above starting balance. In other words, in a $25,000 account, I want at least to start the new month, or this is till the end of August, but after the payout, I still want at least $35,000 in that account. That's what I want to start with. I want to have 10,000 available in drawdown. Now, why? Let me explain why. Because of the way I trade. So this might not be applicable to you, but I'll explain the way I trade. I think I touched on this point before. I don't know ahead of time which way the market's going to go as far as the midpoint, above the midpoint toward the buy level or below the midpoint toward the sell level, right? When this happens, for example, and I don't know if I took this particular trade, but when this happens, when the market dips below the midline, I'm thinking short, and let's say I follow this particular indicator and that point short, and I'm taking short. Now, if all I'm looking for is 5 points, I have it here, no question. But let's say if I'm looking for more, well, I take a short and I get stopped because price goes above the midpoint. Now, I don't want to be short when price is above the midpoint. Now, maybe I don't immediately want to be long either. Maybe I want some kind of a confirmation, for example, here to go long, right? But the point is, I could take a loss, and sometimes it could happen a number of times. That market goes, let's say, above, I take a long, goes below, I take a short, and kind of chops me, right? So, but the way I look at it is, I look at it as an investment. So sometimes it costs me $300, $400, $500 to try and make 1,000 or more. That's just the cost of doing business. So, when you see me in a trade, for example, the 100 Nasdaq points, okay, true, in that one trade, I was up 100 points, but it might have cost me 20 or 30 points, or even more at times, to get that 100 points. So I needed to invest 20 or 30 points to try and get that 100 points. Now, obviously, not every day Nasdaq allows me to get 100 points. I can only take what the market is willing to give, right? I cannot take more than the market is willing to give. Now, today's there was an excellent move that eventually worked out to the long side, right? A beautiful, beautiful move away from the midpoint and way above the buy level. Today there was enough volatility when it happened, but it's not always the case. And sometimes in a particular market, I could actually be down even if I catch a decent move. So that's why I need the drawdown, because I need enough available capital to invest in a situation where I might pay first and then get paid more than I invested. But I need that amount to be able to draw down. My point is, it's not all winning trades. When you see the final trade, it might be the final trade after taking a number of losses. Now, sometimes it's smooth and it's beautiful. Market goes, let's say, above the midpoint, boom, one shot, nice, and I'm done, and it's nice. But it's not always the case. I know I do have losing trades, and that's why I need the drawdown. Now, definitely, if you're going for 100, which I recommend you do at first for sure, it's less of an issue because I don't want to say it's easy, nothing is easy in trading, but it's less challenging, let's say, to get 100, right, if we're just looking for 5 points, right, so above the midpoint toward the buy level here is along, it's just not as challenging, so you can just have a one and done, and then you go and you ride a bike or something, right? So anyway, I just wanted to make this point. Thank you guys. Please leave a like. Please subscribe. Still busy. Cannot make videos very often, but whenever I can, I will. Thank you guys. Enjoy your weekend.